Good evening. Thank you for joining our stream here on Facebook Live for our final episode of Bear News for the semester. It's been wonderful delivering your campus and Greeley community news here on Bear News every week.
It has indeed been quite the semester, and we still have a packed show for you tonight. Once again on Bear News, I'm Catherine Stala. Coming up on this edition of Bear News, reporter Quinn Hodge joins us in the studio for a story about a celebrity host on the popular show Jeopardy that also featured UNC's journalism professor, Lynn Clyde Alleman.
And I'm Austin Sack. Tonight on Bear News, we have a student feature about a popular trend among upperclassmen that are 21 and older. And of course, another Bear News staff feature.
All that and more, so don't go anywhere. We start tonight with a new vaccine requirement the University of Northern Colorado announced just yesterday. In an email to all faculty, staff, and students, the university announced that it will require all students, faculty, and staff to get COVID vaccinations before returning to campus in the fall. The announcement does have a couple of contingencies, though. It's contingent on one or more of the vaccines getting full approval from the Food and Drug Administration, and also depending on adequate supplies of the vaccine being available. The prepared release quoted UNC President Andy Feinstein, saying the health and safety of students, faculty, and staff are the university's highest priority, and the vaccines have proven effective in preventing illness, hospitalization, and death. The university is following directions from Colorado Governor Jared Polis and Department of Higher Education Executive Director Angie Pichochny, who issued a statement supporting mandating the vaccine requirements.
We've enjoyed having Bear News reporters featured on our shows, and reporter Quinn Hodge joins us this week. Quinn, it's great to see you. I know you've been busy this week preparing for our last show, but what can you tell us about the changes coming to Jeopardy?
Thanks, Austin. If you're like millions of Americans who tune into Jeopardy on weeknights, you might have kept up with the show's guest hosts. Since this longtime host Alex Trebek's death in November 2020, the show is now back up and running with guest hosts. Personally, I watch a lot of Jeopardy in my free time, and I was devastated when I heard that Alex Trebek had died. But I wondered, who's going to be the host now that he was gone? So far, my question doesn't have a permanent answer. Green Bay Packers quarterback Aaron Rodgers hosted the show for 2 weeks this month. CNN's Anderson Cooper, greatest contestant of all time Ken Jennings, and NBC's Savannah Guthrie are also included in the guest hosts list. UNC journalism professor Dr. Lynn Clyde Alleman was on Jeopardy back in 2018. She said she had a great experience on the show and that Alex Trebek was an amazing host.
Alex was cool because he kind of made you feel like you were the star of the show instead of him. And he made me feel very at ease. It was, it's a very... It should be very nerve-wracking, and it is, but he made it easier.
She said that she admired qualities like Trebek's smarts and humor. A good Jeopardy host should seem smart and confident as they give the contestants clues and answers. Aaron Rodgers said that he practiced by watching the show without sound and reading the clues like the host does. Rodgers also took his turn as a contestant on Celebrity Jeopardy. He had a great run as the host this month, but he will eventually need to get back to throwing the football.
So Aaron Rodgers is very smart. He was on Jeopardy, on the Celebrity Jeopardy, and he beat an astronaut. So he's really smart. So I think he did a great job.
So guest hosts will continue for the time being, but Jeopardy fans all have different opinions about who they would like to be the permanent host. Dr. Clyde Alleman wishes for Rachel Maddow to take over as host, and I can see that being very entertaining. Whether the show picks a sports star or an already existing TV personality, Jeopardy will remain a staple in my routine. And well, Kate, I'm really excited to see who they pick. Personally, I think Ken Jennings would be great because he's always been a Jeopardy star.
Thanks, Quinn. I'm really excited to see LeVar Burton. It's always great to have you join us, especially for our last show. We hope you enjoyed Bear News these last few months. Our team worked very hard to put on a show every week, so you're probably curious about what kind of work goes into producing a story. Bear News reporter Sophie Deutschman talked to another Bear News reporter, Stephen Moss, to find out.
Reporting is more than just having a pretty face and holding a microphone. There's a lot that goes into producing the perfect story that people don't know about. A reporter has to do their research before, during, and after a story. They have to check their facts and make sure they're reporting the truth. Reporters like Stephen Moss also have to find interesting stories and people to report on. This can be a lot of work trying to contact a source that doesn't want to answer questions or is hard to get in contact with. Bear News reporter Stephen Moss talked about the work that goes into reporting.
So journalism is all about seeking the truth and reporting it, but it's also more than just that. It's all about finding interesting people and telling their stories.
Reporters need to develop a wide range of skills to be good at their job. They have to have people skills because talking to different types of people is an essential part of the job. Having good people skills helps a lot, but they also need to know how to work a camera, shoot good footage, and then edit that footage into something outstanding.
My favorite part about being a reporter is just watching everything come together every week and watching it turn from nothing into something coherent, informative, and just plain awesome.
Reporting from UNC, Sophie Deutschman, Bear News.
Wow, it might be a lot of work, but it's also exciting. So if you're an incoming UNC student joining the journalism program, we encourage you to join Bear News when we return in the fall.
While attending a university, students make many memories as they pass some of their major milestones in their life. Turning 21 is a time of celebration and often a few drinks. But in recent years, a new law added more anticipation to a 21st birthday. On May 1st, 2020, sports betting became legal in Colorado, allowing anyone 21 and up to participate in betting on their favorite sports. After sports returned from COVID-19, of course, many UNC students have picked up gambling, and for new 21-year-olds, it's just as popular as buying alcohol. Sports betting has been popular ever since its legalization in nearly every state. People of age are excited to watch their favorite teams and now have the chance to win money. And for newly 21-year-olds, sports betting makes turning 21 that much more thrilling.
Mobile sports betting, it's a massive industry now, and I mean it's getting legalized in more and more states every day. So it's a huge market. I mean the cities are making tons and tons of money off of it, and it's something that I think a lot of people enjoy. As long as you can do it responsibly, it's something that is there for fun and enjoyment.
There are a lot of betting sites to choose from, but BetMGM is Owen's favorite. He is able to stay organized on his bets while tracking them in the site and on his own.
BetMGM is the book that I play on, just because you immediately get enrolled into MLife Rewards and you gain points for their actual casinos in Vegas, which is great. It's just a big plus. And then for a lot of my research, I'll use Covers.com. It will really give you a breakdown of everything that you would possibly need to know, including the trends of how the last matchups have gone, where the public's money is at, what team has more money on it, and you're able to kind of find edges here and there using different sources.
The websites DraftKings, FanDuel, BetMGM, and many more are UNC students' top choices for sports betting. It is great that sports are finally back and fans can enjoy watching their favorite teams. And if you make a little money on the side, well, then that's only a bonus. But remember to gamble responsibly and, of course, enjoy your 21st birthday.
It was a reprieve for some, an emotional outpouring for others at the Bank of Colorado, or at the arena, when President Andy Feinstein took to the podium to speak about the Derek Chauvin verdict and race relations with the campus community. Bear News reporter Rowan Williams says there was a lot of raw emotion, but as much as comment as expected.
UNC President Andy Feinstein spoke at the Bears in Solidarity meeting Tuesday, April 20th to address George Floyd and greater issues such as racism and well-being for students of color here at UNC.
Personally, I'm happy about the verdicts, happy about the guilty verdicts, but I'm also sad for our country and what we've had to go through over the last year.
Feinstein ended his minute-long speech by introducing UNC community leaders, who expressed reluctance.
How many still will have to suffer while other folks try to figure it out? You are valid in that. You have every right to feel that way. If you feel like you want rest, you deserve that.
When preliminary student presidential candidate Enrique Bendavez ended his speech, a long silence followed. While two students did speak about appreciating the administration for facilitating the dialogue, another long silence followed, forcing university staff to invite one more speaker, who also encouraged students of color to take care of their mental health.
We can miss it. We can miss the signs that we need to stop and breathe and take care of ourselves.
The conversation surrounding race at UNC remains to be had. From the Butler Hancock Sports Center, I'm Rowan Williams, Bear News.
Bear News also got interviews from Turning Point USA and reactions from the Black Student Union representatives. Stay tuned for more later in the show.
We're now joined on Bear News by meteorologist Mackenzie Lake. Mackenzie and I are two of the members from our staff graduating this semester, so it's great to see you for our last show. What do you have planned after graduation, Mackenzie?
Thank you, Austin. After graduation, I am going back to Highlands Ranch, where I do have an internship with Weather Nation. And once that's over, I plan on going to a news station and getting a meteorology position to continue my broadcasting career.
Well, that sounds awesome, and I can't wait to follow your work. Well, this week we got to enjoy some warm weather and some April rain showers, but what can you tell us about our current conditions here in Greeley?
Our current conditions are looking amazing right now. We can see we have bright, beautiful blue skies. The trees are blooming, and there's even a couple of UNC Bears soaking the sun up outside. So overall, just a really nice spring day. I'm meteorologist Mackenzie Lake. Tune back again later in the show for your full weather forecast.
Thanks, Mackenzie, for that report. Mackenzie, we'll catch you later in the show for your full weather forecast. Our weekly crew highlight today will feature one of our biggest personalities on the Bear News crew. Today we'll tell you about reporter and cameraman Rowan Williams.
And with journalism, I get to write. I get to do what I really enjoy, which is camera work, and allow me to express my storytelling abilities. My favorite part about journalism is the ability to tell the story that you need to tell, to speak your own truth, and this program has provided me with the tools and understanding of media that I think is going to be important as a professional storyteller. I want to be a foreign correspondent. I really want to travel the world and cover what's going on outside the United States as a photojournalist or something.
We know he has an exciting future ahead of him. His charismatic attitude will open many doors for him.
In celebration of Earth Day last week, the Earth Guardians tie-dyed t-shirts outside of McKee Hall. But while tie-dyeing t-shirts isn't so unusual, the tie-dye that they use came from some very unusual sources. They made the tie-dye from food scraps in an effort to promote zero food waste. So what types of foods? How about purple cabbages, avocado, and turmeric? To make the dyes, they boiled the foods in water for 30 minutes and let the concoction sit overnight. They even had free shirts that participants could dye. The event was to show how you can make food scraps useful instead of just throwing them away. Food waste is a big issue in the United States, and this is one way for individuals to make a difference. To follow and keep up with the Earth Guardians, you can follow them on their Instagram at @Earth_UNCO for more information. When Bear News returns, we have information about a major upcoming event, Cheyenne Frontier Days.
We also have a story about how the UNC community came together to celebrate women's athletics. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Bear News. In previous shows, we talked a little bit about UNC's Assault Advocacy Program, or ASAP. We also talked about how April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month. The month is meant to inform the public about discriminatory issues and attacks on women. According to a Center for Disease Control's research, more than 1 in 3 women have experienced some kind of physical harassment. The ages of those assaulted vary, but sexual assault happens most when women and girls between the ages of 11 and 17.
I would say that the UNC community is a very strong community, and we believe you.
For personal help, someone to talk to, or if you simply want to help with the cause, go to www.unco.edu/ASAP.
Earlier in the show, we told you about UNC President Andy Feinstein's discussion with students about a speaker who refused to wear a mask, and the speech was shut down by university officials. The speaker was sponsored by the UNC chapter of Turning Point USA, and Bear News reporter Rowan Williams sat down with the club's leader.
Intense backlash has been aimed at the university and Turning Point USA Club after conservative speaker Will Witt was forced to end his time early. UNC responded by making TPUSA leadership go to a conduct hearing on Thursday, April 22nd. They sent the email instructions to Hannah Leope as they thought she was the president.
They realized that I wasn't the president, I was just a contact point for the chapter, and then they start sending them to Sarah as well.
But in the time before their conduct hearing, they gave their best explanations as for why the speech went so wrong.
We had hit capacity at 150 people in the room, and the university told us that as soon as we hit 150 people, we are required to turn people away. No one else is allowed to come in the building. So the university was breaking the rules as well. So that's where the issue lies.
When asked about the homophobic remarks Witt made after his mic got cut, Geisinger says TPUSA leadership had reason to believe the protesters might follow organizers home, so they were encouraged to leave as soon as possible. Geisinger doesn't believe Witt took his mask off despite the protesters. Instead, she says it was more likely intended as a statement against university hypocrisy.
He didn't do that. He did not do that for any reason because of the protesters.
TPUSA leadership says they fully support an open town hall-like event to address any lingering issues with the community. From Greeley, Colorado, I'm Rowan Williams, Bear News.
Thank you for getting all that additional perspective, Rowan.
Bear News reporter Rowan Williams also sat down with representatives from the Black Students Union to discuss what happens next for this dialogue at UNC.
Derek Chauvin's conviction, racial slurs in the McKee Walkway, and Will Witt's speech at the University Center has left many students of color feeling exhausted. One such student is Joshua Greer. As current president of UNC's Black Student Union, he helped plan the Witt protest. He says he is fed up with university inaction despite multiple attempts from him and others to start change.
This is a dialogue that should have been started. This is a dialogue that we've been trying to get to occur.
Greer says Black community members of this campus still feel unsafe, and some feel disrespected by the university.
The emails that they send out, an email doesn't protect any Black student.
Greer says he personally isn't interested in having a dialogue because he feels like they won't really be interested in listening. Elijah Dennings, BSU member and secretary of TPUSA UNC, feels ostracized after everything that has gone down.
The students in Black Student Union, they saw me there at TPUSA. Quite a few of them blocked me and unfriended me on everything.
Dennings feels disappointment at the failure this speech brought in terms of starting a dialogue. While he hopes speaker events will continue to generate these conversations in the future, right now the conversation has yet to be had and remains elusive. From Greeley, Colorado, I'm Rowan Williams.
We'll continue to cover these conversations next semester.
To support a facet of the school that doesn't get a lot of attention, women's athletics. Fans of UNC sports gathered outside Butler Hancock to participate in the 13th annual Women's Walk to raise money for scholarships, and I got to take a look. On a chilly April morning, supporters of UNC athletics came together outside the Bank of Colorado Arena to show their support for women athletes. Fans who donated got to walk around UNC's West Campus while being cheered on by student athletes. Volleyball coach Lindsay Oates emphasized the need for women's athletics to be supported.
So that's what this event is about, is that women empowering women and men coming alongside that.
After the walk, supporters were treated to a complimentary breakfast at Nottingham Field. The in-person event drew in members of the community who were glad to support UNC athletics. Now, you'll have to wait until next year to participate in the Women's Walk, but not to worry. UNC's Blue and Gold Club is accepting donations year-round, so you can always help the women's athletics teams.
Last week, we told you the Greeley Stampede is happening this year. Well, Cheyenne Frontier Days is also on for this summer, and the artist lineup is amazing. Artists such as Blake Shelton, Eric Church, and Kane Brown will be on the stage so audience members can enjoy their music. But one big name artist is already a sellout, and the concert is nearly 3 months away. That's right, country music superstar Garth Brooks appears in Cheyenne on July 23rd, and tickets to his concert are already sold out. Tickets went on sale 2 weeks ago on the Frontier Days website, and within an hour, Brooks' fan page announced that the tickets for the concert were gone. So, unless you have friends in high places, the best chance to hear Brooks' music is on the internet. And hey, don't be afraid to sing along to some of those songs. Cheyenne Frontier Days is July 23rd through August 1st this year.
After this short message, meteorologist Mackenzie Lake is back with her weather forecast, and we still have Bear Sports anchor Aaron Schmidt joining us later. We'll be right back.
Taking a snap without a helmet, not even a question. Hazardous, but only to you. Gathering without a mask, it's not the same. No, it's much worse. It puts everyone at risk, not just in the room. Moms, dads, kids, grandparents, MDs, RNs, all the caregivers we desperately need right now. COVID-19 has affected millions. It's stolen the lives of over 200,000 Americans. Cases are skyrocketing. Yet, science shows if we all wore masks, this would end much sooner, and we could all have some semblance of our lives back. It's simple. No mask, no football.
Meteorologist Mackenzie Lake joins us in the studio now. Mackenzie, a little bit of nice warm sunshine and a lot of rain, and that's just over 3 days. What can you tell us about the weather we can expect this weekend and into finals week?
Thank you, Austin. There are a lot more spring showers on the way, but don't worry too much because we have a lot of sunshine coming our way. Today was such a beautiful day, and not only was it a beautiful day here in Colorado, it was a very nice day all across the U.S. We can see these red color-coded regions got a high up into the upper 90s today. So Florida and California had a very nice day today. Honing in on Denver, Colorado, our highs for the day will be 66 right around Denver, 70 in Pueblo, and 76 in Grand Junction, 61 in the northern parts of Colorado. So overall, a very nice spring day for us today. Moving on into our highs and lows for Greeley, Colorado today. We have a high of 70 with a low of 42. It's going to be sunny all day throughout the day. So if you can get out, go to Horsetooth or go somewhere fun and enjoy this warm weather before those thunderstorms come in later this weekend. Looking at our wind speed for all of Colorado, it's going to be a really nice, calm, and relaxed day as far as winds go. We have some northerly winds coming into Denver at around 5 miles per hour, but overall, nothing to really worry about as far as winds. Then moving on into the weather for Friday, we'll have a high of 79 with a low of 47. It's going to be sunny all day throughout that day, and it's such a beautiful start to our weekend. So definitely make sure to get out and again, enjoy the sunshine while it lasts. Then looking at our surface map for all of the U.S., we see we have a high pressure system right over Colorado. That is what is getting us this really nice weather right now. But unfortunately, that high pressure system is going to move off, and we will begin to see those thunderstorms later into this weekend. We can see we have a huge line of lows all throughout the U.S., and these lows are what is causing some severe weather throughout the U.S. and parts towards Kansas City. But as far as our weekend looks, Saturday through Monday, we have a high of 84 on Saturday, 71 on Sunday, and 56 on Monday. So Monday's going to be a little bit chilly, and it's going to be kind of a rough start to our finals week. Looking at our lows for this weekend, we'll have 50 on Saturday, 43 on Sunday, and 39 on Monday. Saturday and Sunday will be mostly sunny, but Monday is looking like rain and just overall a yucky day. But I'm meteorologist Mackenzie Lake, signing off for my last time here at Bear News. Back to you guys.
Thanks for your forecast, Mackenzie. It's been great working with you throughout this semester, and I know from everyone here at Bear News, you have a very bright future ahead of you. And hopefully we can all work together in a studio someday.
When Bear News returns, Aaron Schmidt will join us in the studio for his last edition of Bear Sports. You won't want to miss it.
When you see a school bus, pay attention. It means children are around. This driver was texting and distracted. He tried to pass the stopped school bus just as this little boy started to cross the street. In a flash, an innocent child is gone. Yellow means caution. Red means stop. So stop. It's not just the law, it's a child's life. Brought to you by the Child Safety Network and the School Bus Safety Company.
Welcome back to Bear Sports. Aaron Schmidt is here, and it's great to have you, Aaron. This has been Aaron's first year working with Bear News, and as producer, I'm very grateful to have such a talented and hardworking sports journalist on my side. Aaron, what's next for you after graduation?
Well, Austin, I don't graduate until December, but that's pretty good timing considering I have a baby on the way in September. So we'll just have to see how that turns out.
Well, congratulations, Aaron. That's very exciting, and I'm so excited for you guys. Well, let's get to Bear Sports now.
It's always nice to play at home, and the UNC baseball team got to enjoy some home cooking over the weekend with a 4-game series against the Sacramento State Hornets. They split the series with the Bears and the Hornets winning 2 games each. In the first game, it was close throughout as the Hornets scored in the first and second innings to make it 2-0. But the Bears came back in the game in the third inning to make it 2 apiece. After a scoreless fourth and fifth inning, Sacramento State's Dawson Bacho hit a 2-run homer, giving them the 4-2 lead. The Bears ended up losing the first game by that 4-2 score, but in the second game, the Bears came out swinging, and I mean literally. The Bears' Shaden Kubo hit a grand slam in the second inning, giving the Bears a lead of 8-2. The Hornets tried to make a comeback, scoring 4 runs in the sixth inning, but the UNC lead held, and the Bears won the second game by that 8-6 score. In the third game, the Bears got clobbered by a score of 10-1, but in the final game, they won 13-11. The Bears are now 9-24, with the season slowly coming to an end. We here at Bear News typically don't cover international sports, but the situation with the European soccer needs to be talked about. Last week, 12 teams from the Premier League, La Liga, and Serie A attempted a launch a European Super League. This would be a huge shift in transition for European soccer. From European teams fighting for a chance to enter the Champions League, to the 12 richest teams locked into their own league, earning even more revenue, the change would turn the European soccer on its head. It would also decrease the amount of local games for the teams in the league because they would only play other ESL teams. While it may be good for revenue, for most of the popular teams to play each other, the average fan would rather see their team against their crosstown rival. But soccer fans across Europe protested the league as soon as it was announced, and those protests are working. Because of the backlash, multiple teams have already pulled out of the league, including Manchester City, Liverpool, Manchester United, Arsenal, Tottenham, and Chelsea. But this story doesn't end with the league failing. The Union of the European Football Associations is looking to take further action. UEFA President Alexander Shefrin said all 12 teams will receive some sort of punishment. But the teams that are in the hottest water with the fans are Arsenal, Liverpool, and Manchester United. That's because the owners of the teams are, well, American. These owners are often accused of not fully understanding the history and tradition of the European sport. Fans say these owners are largely to blame due to their preference to have a similar system to American sports where the largest league is closed off. While it's not clear if the American owners are responsible for the creation of the ESL, it is certainly a structure they would prefer. Luckily for fans, though, it seems like European soccer will remain the same for now. Well, Broncos fans, last week you learned about quarterback Drew Lock training with the legendary Peyton Manning, but Things are changing quickly for Locke because the Broncos' new general manager, George Paton, and he's not committing himself to have Locke as the starting quarterback for the first week of the upcoming football season. During an interview with CBS Sports, Paton mentioned how he does like having Locke as their quarterback, but he said if Locke doesn't fulfill the Broncos' expectations, there's a good chance another quarterback will call the signals. Although Locke is focusing on his skills, he's also focusing on the NFL draft that starts tonight. So, will Paton draft a quarterback in the first round? Especially now that they have officially signed former Carolina Panthers quarterback Teddy Bridgewater? Both Locke and Broncos fans are anxious to find out. Well,
it's been great working with you this semester, Erin. Best of luck to you. It's always hard to say goodbye, but don't worry, Bear News will be back next semester with new faces. We're always looking to expand our team. And since the start of this semester, I've been loving all the work I've been able to do for Bear News. Reporting on developing issues, live tweeting events, and even getting a little behind-the-scenes action have all taught me a lot about what it means to be a journalist. I hope to continue covering the UNC community, both with Bear News and at the UNC Mirror. Keeping everyone informed is my passion. Till next time, I'm Catherine Stala.
And I've been a part of Bear News staff since, well, my freshman year at UNC. During that time, I filled positions of anything from floor director to audio technician. With all of that experience and some passion, I was able to reach my current position of producer and news anchor. I am so grateful for everything Bear News has done for me, and including launching me into my future career. I would like to announce that I have accepted an offer to be the new reporter and news anchor for KREX-TV in Grand Junction, Colorado. I couldn't have gotten this offer without Bear News and all the amazing professors and mentors we have here in the journalism program. For the last time, reporting for Bear News, I'm Austin Sack. Thank you for chatting with us, and good night.